can you build an eco-friendly house for £60,000? And if you can you build it in 60 days and make it look stunning? Well, I'm going to give it a try. I've decided to find a little plot in Cambridgeshire. It's a beautiful area, not much development yet, and the land is relatively cheap to buy. I want to build in a town that's as close to the countryside as possible. There's 60 grand for the build and also 60 grand for the land. So what can I get for my money? Now, this is a possible site in a residential area, which is more and more common now that parts of people's gardens are becoming available for sale. But it's a big site, it's 200 foot deep, it's about 40 foot wide. As I said, in a residential area, you've got all the services in the road, and the aspect is pretty good. You've got playing fields directly opposite, and further beyond that, you've got open countryside, and we've even got some wind turbines in the backdrop. Mind you, it's just a little bit too quiet for me. Well, now, this is a sizable plot, but apparently this is for 4 houses, and the plot I'm looking for is right over there where them 2 caravans are parked. So it seems I'm a bit too late. Somebody else is doing it. I'm prepared to spend a lot of time looking around for a plot. Just like your perfect partner, you'll know when you've found the right one. Now, this is a fantastic site. Look at the sides of it. See those 2 white markers right away over there? That's the boundary line. So all this ground is incorporated in the site. And you've got mature trees. I mean, it's fantastic. Well, this site is sort of quite typical of the sort of site you'd find on the fringes of a town in an urban area. Actually, this is a pretty good site. It'd make a lovely site for a house. But there's no for sale sign up here. You know, it's an infill site. But don't be put off by that, because you can ask the neighbours who owns it, but if they don't know, then go to local council offices and find out who pays the rates on it. And if you have no joy there, you'll surely get your answer by contacting the Land Registry Office, and they'll tell you who's the legal owner. Then try and buy it. This is a dream for me. 25 years ago, I wrote to Prince Charles about my passion for affordable housing. And finally, here I am realising my vision. It's an eco-friendly 2-bedroom house. On the ground floor, there is an open-plan living area, a kitchen and a wet room bathroom. A contemporary staircase leads to the first floor. The master bedroom has built-in wardrobe space with an adjoining office, and a second, smaller bedroom is located next to the bathroom. This ideal starter home is going to be as eco-friendly as the budget allows. An important feature is this water harvesting tank. It collects rainwater to reuse in the loos, washing machine and dishwasher. All of this has to fit in with a 60k budget and, fingers crossed, be done in 60 days. I know this sad little deserted corner plot of land covered in tarmac doesn't look much, but I can see the potential. I found the plot on the internet and got directly in touch with the estate agent. It only cost me £60,000. The advantage of this site is that it's got all the space around it and it feels like I'm in the country, when in reality, I'm just on the edge of town, so everything's at hand. The plot is in the pretty town of March in Cambridgeshire. It really is a lovely area with busy shops, scenic waterways and a 14th century church. And lucky for me, the church is literally a stone's throw away from the plot. I may need some divine intervention if the bill gets a bit tricky. Well, that's it. This is the one, this is mine. Rather strange feeling, actually. I feel a bit excited. This is going to be the site of Tommy's house. Now, at first glance, it may not seem the most inspiring of sites, and it's rather small. But the advantage of that is that because it's small, we'll probably be able to build this within budget. And because it's on the edge of a town, all the utilities that we want are probably in the road. And visually, it's perfect. It's such a beautiful setting. All this open land at the back. I think this will be perfect for Tommy Walsh's house. The concept behind the eco-friendly part of the build is very simple. I'm taking existing technology that's already out there and using it far more effectively. So on the ground floor, we're using very thick thermal blocks and we're insulating on the outside of the building. So we're creating like a teapot and tea cosy effect. And that means that it keeps much warmer much longer. And we're only heating the ground floor, and heat naturally rises, so we're going to be warming the whole building far more efficiently using a lot less energy.
Now this makes it look really simple. We'll start off by digging the footings, but of course I have no idea how stable the ground is. Next, fill the hole with concrete, but we don't have much to order yet. Then in goes the rainwater harvester tank, if I've dug the hole out right.
A very important part of the build. Somewhere to sit and contemplate the day. A blue loo. Yeah, try it out, Tone, see what it's like.
No funny business.
See, how can we lock that now?
These cabins are essential for a site office. Tony and Will can sleep upstairs in their penthouse, so that's the security sorted. Just haven't told them yet.
Spring has finally arrived, and so is the day when I start this build. It seems everybody's already here waiting for me to start. Now, some people might say it's a foolish thing you're about to attempt, and that's to build a bespoke house for £60,000 on a piece of land for £60,000 and complete the project in 60 days. So I think it's ironic that today is April the 1st.
A job of this magnitude calls for experience, wisdom, knowledge and reliability. But I've decided to get my old mates Willie and Tony back again.
I've come over with a tape, Will.
What are you doing with these rigid shovels? Where's my long shovel? You forgot to put it on.
Willie and Tony are digging a trench out so that we can actually install the water and the electricity supply so we can get on with the build. Once Willie and Tony have got that sorted, I can finally have what I really need, which is, of course, a homemade brew.
I'm putting up this platform so we'll be able to get a proper view when the house starts going up. Here's a digger. I've got one that's big enough for the site. I know I could have got the mother of all diggers, but its little baby is all I need. I'm going to look a right plonker on the back of this. Where's Tony and Willie when you need them?
How many sugars do you like?
Just a small half. Watching me figure. Good job we got the water on now, Will.
To save you, isn't it? It's the only thing that keeps us going, Tony. Is a little cup of tea.
Proper cup of tea. You need a cup of tea.
Look at this. Only 2 cups. I'll remember that. I'm off to get some grub. This is my first time in town. It's a great community here. Really friendly people.
Good afternoon, ladies. And all of a sudden, you disappear. You know, you're not supposed to hide from the camera.
She was dying. Where's he coming? He said that was coming. Where's he coming? Leave me alone.
Right, so when I come in next time, you're not all going to run and hide?
No, she won't.
Okay, and what's your name?
Jess.
Jess. All right, we're going to particularly focus on you, Jess.
Oh, no.
So the next time we come in, there's no hiding from me, okay?
I know where I go.
Now this orange line determines the actual size of the building. This is the outside of the brickwork. To make sure we get things square, we're measuring diagonal to diagonal. If they're both the same size, it's square. As well as the main foundations, I need to dig a hole for the water harvesting tank. It's an eco-friendly house and I want to recycle as much water as possible. This is a good start. Maybe I should have bought a site that was covered with grass. Anyway, this little digger should sort it. Size isn't everything, you know. Yes, despite looking like a plonker again, I'm back on me dumper.
It's amazing, isn't it? Men's fascination. Whenever you dig an hole, there's never a shortage of anyone looking down it, is there?
You'll probably end up down there. Something like.
You reckon?
Well, if you don't get a shift on, you might. My water harvesting tank has arrived. It's a bit expensive at nearly 2,000 quid, but I decided I had to have it from day one. Of course, it ain't no good if we can't fit it down the hole, so I'm double checking, but I'm sure I've made it wide enough. The water harvesting system, which incorporates the tank, was a great idea because it's going to benefit us in the long term. It's a bit of an expensive outlay in the beginning, but I like the idea of harvesting, you know, rainwater, and the fact that you are going to, in the long term, save a huge amount of money because we're going to use it, the recycled water, for the toilets, the dishwasher, and the washing machine. All right, it's just a bit of a tight fit, so I had to call the cavalry back in to do a bit of fine tuning. For me, everything has to go in level and plumb. It's just second nature. See? Spot on. As we clear the site, we need to figure out what to do with this antique seed drill. I reckon we should cut it up, but Will's getting his knickers in a twist.
I never damaged it. I mean, that's...
It's your responsibility to look after this.
Well, I got the angle grinder in the motor. We'll cut this up.
You do it. I'm not cutting that up.
Why?
Scrap. No, go ahead and suck to it. Look at it. Took many years to think of that idea.
Well, I didn't want to cut up the drill because I like those kind of old stuff, you know what I mean? It's old farm machinery, I think it looks good. And even if you don't want it, you should find someone that is going to use it. Show it off for what it was, not cut it up into little bits and chop it up. It's just a waste, I think.
Well, I don't want to cross swords with Will this early on in the build, so let's see if we can do something with it later. That seed drill's not the only thing that needs clearing away. Everything must go. This particular digger I chose for its size relative to the size of the site, and it's about as flexible as you're going to get. You can get smaller ones, but they won't dig to the depth we need, or be able to load the skips. Good project management is a must on any build. This is amazing. The breeze blocks are actually on time. Well, that's a good sign. Tony's jigging about like he's after a part in River Dance. Leave it out, mate. You'll upset the driver, and these blocks will end up dropped on your head. All this gear is to get us up to damp course level, and it's cost over £1,000.
That's a job done.
I like this sound so much, I've got it on CD to listen to at home.
What? My nerves weren't shot already. God.
So with the skip in place, Paul the machine driver can fill it up, ably assisted by Tony and Will, who seem to be taking on more of a supervisory role. I'll be having a word later. Time to get started on the footings. Well, when Will's happy, everything's spot on. We're planning to dig down to 1.5 metres, and if we don't reach virgin soil, I'll be on the phone to Richard Branson. Looks like we're going to have to dig out a bit more than I thought, though, because the ground isn't that stable, and we can't compromise the foundations. It goes to show you never know how deep you have to go until you get going. Concrete's here now, so first thing is to get that water tank sorted. Hope it's still level. There's no going back now. This old chair might come in handy. Actually, it's not in bad nick. I could try and recycle it.
It's a great find, this chair. I'm going to use this. And I think I'm going to make this position my point of contemplation over this build.
It's great the neighbours are popping round to have a butcher's. They're always welcome. Some more than most.
Hello, sweetie. What's your name?
Paris.
And what have you got there?
Sponge I made for you.
A sponge you made for me?
Yeah.
Oh, did you make this yourself?
Yeah.
I think we've got another television chef in the making here. Now, do you think it would be fair of me to give a piece of this to the boys, Willie and Tony, or not?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, maybe. If they pull their finger out. The water tank's in and the boys are busy watching. Building inspectors have found a new hole in March, and the council says they're looking into it.
It's quite a hole there, boy, isn't it? When you think about it. Working with the local authority inspectorate, which is what we know as either the building surveyor or the district surveyor, is crucial to any build. They supervise exactly what you do very carefully from a building point of view and also from the point of health and safety. I've always worked with the building inspectors, never ever had a problem, and they just respect if you do the job properly, they won't give you any hassle. That's what they're there for.
Our interior designer Victoria's here now.
Yeah.
I know it's early days and there's not a lot for her to see, well, apart from a few holes in the ground, but it will be good for her to get an idea of the house layout.
Right, now this is the floor plan here.
Yeah. It looks fantastic. I mean, I've got it drawn out with all the furniture on and it gives you a much better impression of what you've got. But when you stand on site like this, it's hard to imagine how it's ever going to fit on.
Oh, don't worry, you'll be surprised. It's quite a big footprint, really, for a small house, and I want it to be as spacious as possible.
Yeah, it will be. Nice having the tree there as well, because you'll see that through those patio doors.
Right, well, let me show you what the first floor's like. Over the kitchen area,
Yeah.
which is over in that corner, is bedroom 2.
Yeah, yeah, lovely.
And then if you take a line approximately where that board is, you've got a huge bedroom
Oh, it is big.
going right the way across the whole building.
Yeah.
That's bedroom 1. And because that little kick in the wall, if we come back here, it'll come through, it'll kick and go over there.
I'm a bit nervous because I think a lot of it is going to be quite an organic process, and I think there's going to be a lot of decision-making going on as you go along. And I'm not really used to that sort of thing. I tend to really like to be planned sort of ahead of time. But I think Tommy's going to try and stick his oar in a few times. And I think, you know, we've probably come to blows a few times, which would be interesting. I've certainly got some strong ideas, and I'm sure he's got his own too. So we'll just have to see how it goes. But I think it'll be fun.
Well, it all seemed to be going so well, probably too well. We were on the last stretch, and of course, so he got a bit overconfident, phoned up and booked the concrete, and while I was on the phone, crash, we had a fall in. So what that means in effect is the sides underslipped. It fell from slipped from underneath, and it just brings in a load of material either side of the trench. All you can do is scoop that all that extra waste material out, get a shot of that in extra skips to take it away, and then pay for extra concrete to fill that hole that you've just created. I hope we don't have any more, because this is going to set us back in the schedule, and we could run into the second week. You know, it could put us behind by days as well as behind by budget.
We've had another fall in. Corner went again, so we've had to dig it all out and order an extra load of concrete. And thankfully they said they would take it on the end of this order, so we'll get it all in one go. Fingers crossed, no more collapses.
These fall-ins have cost me the best part of £1,000. So having a contingency in your budget is vital for just this kind of thing. Shame I haven't got one, though. Well, that's it. We're ready for the concrete. Good job we didn't throw that old sea drill away after all. Peter Baker, a local sculptor, reckons it can give it a new lease of life and create something out of it for my house. Great. That should keep Will happy. The concrete for me footings is here. Let's get it in quick before we have any more collapses.
Ground's not good round here, is it?
Depends.
So what I want to do is, if you can load this front trench first, that'll build her up and that'll stabilise it.
That's the first one in, only about 4 more to go.
We originally calculated for 3 load, 18 cubic metres. Then, with the extra depth that we had to dig out because of the quality of the ground, it worked out that we'd have to have an extra load, so that means 24 cubic metres. And now with the 2 fall-ins in each corner, we're probably going to need another load, so it'll be around somewhere between 28 and 30 cubic metres.
That's another job done.
The foundations are in and complete. It did have me worried though, I must admit, and we got away with just 4 loads of concrete, which is 24 cubic metres, so that's just 6 metres more than we anticipated. All we had to do now is wait for it to set and then on with the next stage. Although we did manage to complete our schedule for the first week, we did have a problem with the budget. So there was a bit of success and a bit of a problem. We were supposed to spend about £3,500 to get to that stage, and we ended up spending £5,000. So in the first week, we're already £1,500 behind on our budget on an overspend. Next time on Tommy Walsh's Eco House, Tony forces us to go on a treasure hunt.
We're not doing this for fun.
I visit a recycling yard, and Will loses the plot.